Un cordial saludo para todos los televidentes.
A cordial greeting to all viewers. My name is Carlos René Suarez. I am the Director of Mechatronics Engineering of the Fundación Universitaria Agraria de Colombia. At this time I want to tell you about a project,
Que es muy interesante para
which is very interesting for the entire rural sector. Why is it so important?
un proyecto que estaba enfocado.
Because it is a project that was focused on climate change.
Es una de las grandes tendencias que nosotros.
As we all know, climate change is one of the major trends that we have and we have to try to protect it. We have worked together with researchers from the Universidad Distrital,
En recopilar información
collecting information of climatological variables, through climatic stations, built by ourselves at very low cost,
con energías alternativas y
with alternative energies and with a lot of technology, which I will explain later on, in which we are collecting data that we hope will reach all the people in the world,
que todas las personas del mundo puedan entender.
that all the people in the world can understand those variables that we are measuring, and with them we can predict the natural phenomena that are occurring.
Eso es muy importante porque con esto
That is very important because with this we are delivering key information to anyone on the planet. At the moment it is a bit complex to read that information,
existen variables climatológicas que son leídas por diferentes marcas de equipos.
because there are climatological variables that are read by different brands of equipment, and that does not facilitate the work when reading and predicting the weather, while the project that we intend to realize is to have some climatic variables read in a format for all people, a format that we will call open source format.
Nuestra tecnología ha sido elaborada
Our technology has been developed through many mechanisms and through many electronic and mechatronic elements.
Estas estaciones están ubicadas
These stations are located in different parts of the city of Bogotá, and we even have a station located in the municipality of Tenjo,
Municipalidad de Tenjo.
where we are taking the climatic variables of the Vereda de la Punta.
¿Qué pretendemos con esto?
What do we intend with this?
Datos climáticos
Collect climate data, upload them to any place on the internet,
y que las personas
and that people from the internet can predict or can see the weather forecast that we have obtained.
estamos trabajando con algoritmos, estamos trabajando con Internet de las cosas,
We are working with algorithms, we are working with the Internet of Things, we are working with semantic web, we are working with cloud computing, we are working with data acquisition, with wireless transmission, with alternative energies. Let's say that the integration of all these devices has allowed us to build a quite appropriate technology, quite complex, for the needs of reading climate change.
cambio climático. Ahora les voy a mostrar
Now I will show you each of the parts of our prototype, and with this I hope you understand
que entiendan mejor todo lo que se requiere para que
better everything that is required for us to get the information of climate variables, or simply climate variables.
las variables del clima. Las estaciones,
The stations are composed of different sensors.
los sensores
The sensors measure each of the climatic variables that exist. There are up to 14 climatic variables. With these stations we are measuring about 7 or 8 climatic variables.
estamos midiendo la
We are measuring the wind speed, we are measuring the wind direction, the precipitation, we are measuring the luminosity, we are measuring the temperature, and we are measuring other variables,
midiendo otras variables que no son tan importantes para la predicción del clima.
which are not so important for climate prediction, but we need to acquire them.
Estas variables son tomadas
These variables are taken by these elements. These elements have sensors, electromechanical devices, which give us an electrical signal, and that electrical signal we have to translate it to a data acquisition system. The data acquisition system receives that signal, and then that signal we try to process it to be understood by the electronic equipment, as it is a physical variable. A variable that is in nature, we have to try to convert it into a variable that is understood by the electronic
luego de que esa variable es
equipment. This is the first part.
recopilada por los equipos electrónicos.
After that variable is collected by the electronic equipment, that variable is processed in some low capacity or high capacity devices.
Encontrar diferentes tarjetas
Here we can find different cards that are practically mini computers and that process the information that has been received from the data acquisition card.
Finalmente,
Finally, with very small cards we transmitimos
esa información
that information through the free space. And that information is collected in something we call a gateway or a base station.
un gateway o una estación base.
That base station collects through these elements, communication sensors, collects all the information that has been issued by each of these weather stations built by ourselves and processes the information and stores it.
Por nosotros mismos y procesa la información y la almacena.
The most important part of this station is that the information is stored in the station is additionally connected to all elements that can be communications.
Comunicaciones. Estoy hablando de Internet.
I am talking about internet. I am talking about private servers. I am talking about own servers, and all those. Servers receive that information transmitted by this base station or gateway, and the information is received in the servers.
Luego, a esos servidores puede acceder.
Then those servers can be accessed by any person, scientific or not scientific, those people who can access those servers, implement algorithms, to make the respective predictions.
¿Qué predicciones se pueden hacer?
What predictions can be made? Predictions of climate changes, predictions of storms, predictions of strong winds, and they are studied by those scientists.
Esas predicciones,
Those predictions, after they are validated, are issued by an application, and that application we receive it in our smartphone.
en nuestro smartphone, en el smartphone,
In the smartphone, we can see, depending on where the weather station is located, what is going to happen with the weather, and let's say that that application after the project is finished, anyone will be able to have it.
que el proyecto esté terminado, la podrá tener cualquier persona. Lo que nosotros esperamos es que
What we hope is that the
la pueda tener para
rural community can have it so that they can observe firsthand what will be some of the weather situations that will occur in the future.
las situaciones del clima que se les va a presentar a futuro. Muy importante porque con eso los
Very important, because with that the farmers will have a tool to be able to foresee their daily activities.
muchas veces nosotros por el efecto del clima
Many times, due to the effect of the weather, we cannot carry out activities, and what we are looking for is that an application that allows people to predict how they are going to carry out their harvests, how they are going to carry out their activities in the field.
actividades en el campo. En estos momentos
At this moment, we are doing the test, with different stations located in the city of Bogota.
Bogotá, como les dije, y en Tenjo, esta tecnología
As I told you, and in Tenjo, this technology acquired in the factory with conditions and standards that are not open, they are quite expensive, and perhaps that is a difficulty, the access to technology.
toda esta tecnología
We have managed to build all this technology at a very low cost, and we have tried to make it known that the community knows that this technology exists and that projects can be developed to support this great climate change that we are having.
ese gran cambio climático que nosotros estamos teniendo. En este proyecto venimos
In this project, we have been working with researchers from the Universidad Distrital and Uniagraria, approximately since 2017.
el proyecto fue propuesto para un trabajo de un año.
The project was proposed for a one-year work, but due to all the research we had to do and the technological aspects to be investigated, the project had to be extended to 2 years.
Tuvo que prorrogarse a 2 años. Otro de los aspectos bastante importantes
Another of the quite important aspects in this work is that the project is low cost.
que cuesta el 10% de lo que cuesta normalmente un proyecto de estos.
This means that it costs 10% of what a project of this kind normally costs. We are talking about the research that was carried out was conscious and contextualized to the conditions of our country. The devices that we work with in this technology were not built by us, they were totally imported, but they are accessible or easily accessible in the international market.
Acceso en el mercado internacional. La facilidad que se tiene ahora con
The facility that we have now with all these devices is that they can be acquired through the international market.
y entonces eso nos facilitó
The prototypes, the mechatronic elements.
que nosotros hemos trabajado. Los prototipos, los elementos mecatrónicos,
The electronic elements and the energy elements that you can see,
energía que ustedes observan, fueron construidos por
built by the members of the Fundación Universitaria Agraria de Colombia.
la información que se obtiene de estos elementos del clima. Es enviada
The information obtained from these elements of the climate is sent to the internet.
Estamos construyendo una aplicación para que
We are building an application so that the rural community receives all this information, which we are sending, in an application that will obviously be built to be very understandable and easy to understand.
muy fácil de comprender. Esperamos que el campesino
We hope that the farmer will have this technology in his smartphone next year.
el próximo año. Nosotros en estos momentos estamos terminando.
We are currently finishing the functionality of the prototype and we are waiting for the validation tests that are being done at the Universidad Distrital to be completed and finally the product,
Y finalmente el producto que es
which is the weather forecast displayed on a smartphone screen.
esté aproximadamente a mediados del año 2020.
If you want to know more about the technologies that we are developing for weather prediction,
Desarrollando nosotros para predicción del clima,
I recommend you to access our social networks. On the screen are
pantalla están apareciendo todos los links
appearing all the links to which you can contact us, even if you want to send us a message and we can assist you personally.